Thank you and welcome. Today, I'm here to talk about head football coach at Birmingham Southern College, Tony Joe White. But not just about him. I'm going to talk about why he was the right move, why he was the right hire, why he was the right person for the job of leading Birmingham Southern and their football team towards the right direction. Now, previously, Birmingham Southern College went 1-9 before Tony Joe White arrived. Their culture was viewed as toxic, not only by people who watched the games and people inside the program, but by Tony Joe White himself. In my interview that I conducted with him, he played against Birmingham Southern. He coached against them. And they had no will, they had no desire to win that he felt was needed. Now, is this important? Very important. I say this because I also talked to previous players and they felt the same way. I got the same answer. The culture was toxic. The coach didn't demand enough of me. It was always negative. I felt that I did not make an impact. I left Birmingham Southern with no tools to use in life. I left with no key memories of winning, nothing, didn't feel part of the team. Now, Birmingham Southern in this time after that 1-9 season had enough. They needed a culture change. They desired something different. They knew that something had to be done. So what did they do? As you can all have guessed, they decided they needed a change. So they brought in Coach White to interview for the job. And as I discussed with Coach White, as I was getting prepared to do this talk, he made it very clear that he always wanted to become a head coach, but he didn't know where or when it would happen. But when he got to the interview and he started discussing with our administration, he laid out his vision, his goals, and where he wanted to take this program. But he wanted it to be his way. And the administration agreed. The administration saw his goals, his visions, and his mindset to positively impact this football team. Now, what were those goals and visions? And how did he use them? And did it work? This is Coach White. Famous man himself, lots of media attention, but a lot of people only see the winning season now. They only see the all-conference selections, the All-Americans that we have. But they didn't see the process. They didn't see the guys buying in. They didn't see how impactful the change was.
And to really understand how impactful that change was, you have to know who Coach White really is.
Coach White is a very hungry, very bold personality person. He likes things done his way. But if you listen to him and buy into what he has to say, I promise you, you will become a better man for it. Now, after the interview, he was hired in 2017 and got right to work on recruiting and hiring his staff. And his goal was to establish his vision and goals early. Lay it out for the team. Not just be there as a coach, but be there as a mentor, an influencer, and clearly establish what he wanted to do. Now, like I said, in 2016, BSC went 1-9. So the next year, 2017, that team was really open to anything. They needed change. They wanted change.
And you would see this change in the years to come.
Now, each season in my last 4 years here, we have improved our record each season. And Coach White has recruited better players that also buy into his vision. He is honest with these players. He is honest with them on their recruiting visits and still honest when they're a senior. Now, he brings these players in and tells them that it's not going to be easy. And you're expected to get good grades, be on time, practice hard, and practice consistent. And this will lead to winning football games. But more importantly, he wants you to leave BSC with a degree and be a better man. Now that's very important. Why? Well, it's more important than winning games to Coach White. In our interview, Coach White stated that he would rather have his former players come back after they've graduated, whether it be 1 year or 30 years, and tell him that they are better off in life and more successful because of the type of man that they learned to be while at Birmingham Southern, than tell him that they just frankly enjoyed winning and that it was fun to win a ring. Coach White genuinely cares about transitioning you from a boy, a child, into a man and letting the winning take care of itself. And this whole mindset it's drilled into us every day. As football players, sometimes we feel like we're getting yelled at for no reason. We feel that we're just getting too much demanded of us. But now, looking back, I know that he's not just talking about winning games or talking about doing my homework. He's referring to doing the little things. And if I take care of the little things, then frankly, the big things will take care of themselves. Coach White believed this was the key to success on and off the field. And I think BSC saw Coach White's vision for success and truly believed in him creating success on the field that would come through his mindset and leadership off the field. And when I say off the field, Coach White believes his influence over the players is very important. He has to be held to the same standards as he holds his players for them to truly buy into the process of pursuing excellence in everything that they do, not just on the football field. So, in doing that, he hired coaches who were qualified, who would support him, and who would tell him when he was wrong. Now, that can be hard as a head coach and as a leader to be open to criticism and to also have those who will support you, because sometimes as leaders we feel like we don't need any help. But nevertheless, he wanted to create a staff where he was not a dictator, but a supervisor to allow his assistants to grow and teach the players without the coaches feeling like they were being micromanaged. I've seen Coach White create a shared leadership among the staff. He has given full control of the offense and defense to the coordinators, to Coach Perrin and Coach Calusi, the respective offense and defensive coordinators at Birmingham Southern. Now, this allowed the assistant coaches and the coordinators to have more confidence in themselves, but also grow as a leader. But it also helped avoid tensions in the workplace and in the meeting rooms, and so that there would be no problems with the coaching staff that the players could see. Now, the point I want to prove was he was a perfect fit for BSC, and frankly, it can be shown in the 4 steps of a supervisor listed in the contingency theory. Step 1, he provided the need for satisfaction, which was, frankly, the change in culture at BSC. They needed to win. They needed a less toxic culture. He structured a path for his players to follow and to achieve their goal of winning games, graduating, and being successful. Third, he hired the best staff possible and allowed them to have authority and responsibility to remove problems and planning that would take away from his own time to share his vision and to influence the team. Finally, number 4, he modified the players' goals. At first, it was just to win, but he wanted them to win by pursuing excellence in everything that they do and let the wins take care of themselves on the football field. Now, I've learned a lot from Coach White, but probably the most important thing I'll be able to take away is the 10-80-10 principle. He has, frankly, drilled this into his players' heads. And what this principle is you have your 10% of guys. These 10% guys are bought in. They have listened to what is being told to them. They do the little things right. They are fully committed to the program and will see everything through, whether that be school, whether that be on the football field, or whatever it may be in life. These guys are fully committed to the process of pursuing excellence. Then you have your 80%. Your 80% is what is most of the team. It takes up most of the team, and it's those guys that are not quite there yet. They're just frankly not. Now this is okay, because this is Coach White's job. Coach White's job is to get these 80% of guys to be fully invested. Now, it may take 1 year, it may take 2 years, but it is Coach White's job as a leader to move this 80% into that top 10%. Even if it's just, well, we can't get one guy to keep up with his homework. Coach White demands excellence in everything, and you cannot move into that elite core 10% until you pursue excellence in everything that you do. And I believe that is one of Coach White's best things that he's ever taught me. Now, the bottom 10%, these guys are players who want to be committed, or maybe even really just say that they want to be, but they don't do really anything right. You know, they say they want to go out there and play football, but they don't do the things it takes to be committed to the process. They don't do their homework. They miss meetings. They don't bring a pen to meetings. They don't go hard in practice, but they love the games. They love the attention that being a Birmingham Southern football player brings. Now, Coach White has stated multiple times that you can't do anything about these bottom 10%. And I believe that's true. Most of these guys will end up washing out, and Coach White really wants to focus on this moving the guys from the 80% into the elite 10%.
And again, thank you all for coming out. I appreciate all of you.
Now, Coach White has done an amazing job of this. My freshman year, I was skeptical, wasn't fully bought in. I wanted to be, but even though he demanded excellence every day and everything that I did in life, and frankly, sometimes I just thought he was crazy, but I bought in. It took time, took several years and lots of meetings and practice and games, but I finally was a fit. I finally began to listen more and do the things that were expected to me. But then the results showed up on the field. I demanded more of myself. I wanted him to see me as somebody that did the things that they were expected to do. And I finally rose from that 80% to that top 10%. Now, this year, we finished 10-2, the best in program history. And I feel this is mainly due to the fact that we had a majority of the team on board. Coach White stated that he felt this team had an excellent leadership from the top 10% group. And this top 10% group this year was made up of mostly seniors. But we had to work our way up. But Coach White provided BSC with a winning culture, and we will always be thankful for that. Even though it is demanding, he was positive about it. He wanted you to be a part of the process, but if you were not a fit, then you were not a fit. But if you were a fit and you bought into the process and you pursued excellence and you did the things that were asked of you, it showed on the field as well as off the field. For example, over the last 5 years, the team GPA has risen. We have countless SGA and Greek Life members and other school representatives that Coach White encourages you to run for or join. And BSC is a national contender on the field, as well as countless all-conference selections, All-Americans, D3 Heisman finalists, and countless other awards. Now, in closing, Coach White has created a positive and yet demanding culture that has his players chasing excellence in everything that they do. And this has led to success on the field, but more importantly, off the field. Coach White was definitely the right choice. So, thank you all for your time, and good night.